A radiant barrier will work to keep your home more comfortable in the summer. That's been proven. But how do they work exactly? Radiant barriers are designed to stop one thing, and that's radiant heat. Have you ever seen the heat waves coming off the street on a summer day? That's radiant heat. It's invisible but powerful. You can even cook an egg on a hot street. So, just like the street, the sun's heat is beating down on your roof. As it heats up, it re-radiates the heat in all directions, just like the street. A bunch of that heat will transfer into your attic. As your attic heats up, the insulation will absorb as much of the radiant heat as it can until it's full of heat, like a sponge filled with hot water. Eventually, the traditional insulation starts to leak, because it can only hold so much. This leaked heat will make its way into your home, and you'll be uncomfortable really quickly. Or your AC will kick on, and now you're paying to stay comfortable. Traditional insulation can only slow down the heat. Sometimes it fills up and starts leaking in just a few hours. Think about it. The sun hits your roof at 8 a.m. and it's hot in your home by 10 or 11 a.m. Here's where the radiant barrier comes in. By installing the radiant barrier over the top of your attic's traditional insulation, it will reflect a massive amount of heat before it heats up the insulation below. If the attic insulation can be kept cooler longer, we can keep the home cooler for longer and easier. So why does a radiant barrier work so well? Because it's designed for one thing, to reflect radiant heat before it hits the insulation. You might be thinking, well, how can it reflect if it's dark in there? We get that question a lot. Have you ever noticed that your attic can skyrocket to well over 120 degrees in the pitch black? Well, radiant heat is really infrared heat that isn't on the visible spectrum. It's just like the light beam that comes from your TV remote. Try aiming your TV remote at a mirror and turning on the TV behind you. It works. The radiant barrier literally reflects infrared heat just like the mirror in your TV remote. Think of it this way. The first line of defense is the radiant barrier reflecting the radiant heat, and your second line of defense is traditional attic insulation blocking conductive heat. Because your home is exposed to both types of heat, a different product is needed to control each one. We also offer solar attic fans to exhaust all that heat out of your attic quickly, but that's another video. Your home will be more comfortable with a radiant barrier keeping your attic space and your attic insulation cooler. The less heat entering your home, the less money you spend getting the heat out. It's that simple.